Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Wait, you hear my voice? Yes, that's right. That will be my first ever series with a commentary. And
okay, let's go.
We also start the city a little bit differently than I usually start my cities, but more about that later in the video. At first I wanted to test a new mod, Road Builder, which sounds really promising because you can really easily build your own custom roads, and yes, that's really practical because I wanted to use only vanilla assets again for this series, but this time we are using finally mods. I'm really tired of no mod builds. It's so time consuming and frustrating sometimes. So I'll build some custom roads for the series. I started with creating some basic no-curb one-way roads with 1, 2, 3 and 4 lanes. Also I made some really wide tram avenues. You will see them all over the place in Berlin. But I cut that out because I don't want you to see the Road Builder menu the whole time. By the way, you have to be really careful. You have to pay a lot of attention while using that mod because you can easily forget something, and yeah, then you have to do it all over again. Please, when you're using it, you have to fiddle a bit before in the options because they are using really tall traffic lights there, and they are also using grass props, which looks really ugly in my opinion, but you can remove them. I don't know if that is a stupid little build that I did here, but I made a legend for our map. I will start with laying out the main rail infrastructure where I want to have all rail lines, especially in Germany we call them S-Bahn lines. Something like that only exists in Germany or the German-speaking part of the world. The public transit on rails is divided in the subway and a fast express service, the S-Bahn, which has longer distances between stations, and it travels usually on a faster speed than the regular subway. In Berlin, for example, the S-Bahn is totally or to 90% overground, and I really like building rail infrastructure. I think you already know that. I started with the S-Bahn ring here that circles around the main city core. I think it's a little bit ambitious to fill in all that spaces and also some surroundings, but we will see how my motivation goes, or how do you like the series even, and also if my computer can handle it, because Evergreen County, my previous series, is already lagging so hard. I think many of you think that I have a NASA PC or something, but no, my PC is really old, but when you speed up all the builds and the cinematics, can't really tell that it's lagging. This time I really want to separate all rail traffic. For example, the inner city and intercity lines will be totally excluded and won't share the same rail tracks. I think the biggest difference will be that the intercity lines have catenaries and the S-Bahn lines will be powered by a third rail. I don't know yet how to do that, maybe with intersection marking tool and props, or with network multi-tool and parallel mode to put a third rail right next to it. I haven't thought about the cargo lines yet, but they will also be on the main rail corridors, and here and there I will just put a cargo facility. So now that we have done all the rail infrastructure, I painted some districts to name the main transport hubs in the west, north, east and south direction, as well as the central station. In Berlin, these are also really important transport hubs. So Berlin has a really cool layout in my opinion. You have the east, west, north and south crosses or transport hubs, which are all on the Ringbahn or on the outer ring you can see here. For example, you can exchange from a rail line from the outskirts on one of the crosses in each direction to travel on the Ringbahn. The Ringbahn is my favorite train line in the whole of Germany. When I was younger, I ride the circle just for fun. I really had the fun of my life because the Ringbahn circles around the inner city of Berlin in 1 hour. And the cool thing about it, you can travel from each exchange hub in the north, south, west and east direction in 15 minutes. So yeah, and 15 times 4 is 60 also, so 1 hour. That is really easy to remember, and it gives you a good idea how long it will take to travel to each destination in Berlin. So I talked a lot about the ring already, and that's a really good indicator at how important the Ringbahn is for Berlin. You also have like different rents inside and outside the ring. And yes, enough about that. Now what you can see on the screen is I started to build the central station. Yeah, this time the central station has nothing to do with the central station in Berlin. It's heavily inspired by Amsterdam Central. And at first I thought how to name the series, and it was really tough to decide if I name it just Pure Berlin or Berdam. That's a mix between Amsterdam and Berlin. That would be also funny, or Amsterlin, which would also be a mix, because I think Amsterdam is also a really cool city, and I think the cities would totally match each other. But yes, you will see influences from all over East Germany or all over Central Europe in this series, but it's mainly focused on the German capital. What's that? I'm using PO the first time on my channel, and I watched a 3-hour tutorial by Acros. I can really recommend that tutorial. He just explains everything so well, and I finally am quite comfortable now with that mod. I know when like Skybith or Acros or all the other great guys which are really good with that mod, when they see me build here, and they even watch my videos, when they see me building here, they might think what the fuck is he doing? But I created a custom train station with the train station's content creator pack and the European University, and I think it looks really cool. The city will also have a quite extensive tram network, especially on the eastern or western side. What I also thought, the river is the perfect division between two parts of the city, and one part could have been part of the Soviet Union and the other part could have been under the American, English or French rulership. That division also happened to Berlin. It's like over 30 years ago, but you can still see the difference between the eastern and the western part inside the city. For example, at the east you have a lot of prefabricated housing. You have a much larger tram network than the western part of Berlin. The western part has only a few tram lines, and I think this special history makes the city really unique in the world. So the Hauptbahnhof, or the central station, is one of the most important parts of every German city. It's usually right in the city center, has a really important role, and when you visit a city, it's mostly the first thing you will see. For that, it really makes no sense why Germany has so many really ugly train stations, But yeah, it is what it is. So I'm not quite sure yet with what I will surround the train station. It would be also really cool if I would design it like Amsterdam, where you have the big river behind it and have a ferry terminal to the northern part, or in this case it would be the western part of the city, I think. But I could also leave it like that, and yeah, I don't know yet. What I know is that the main entrance will connect with a bridge to the old town, and then you can easily walk or ride with a tram to the old town. Yeah, Berlin has really no real old town, but I think I will do a old town with small streets and pedestrian zones, the city hall, maybe museums or so, but that's all stuff you will see in one of the next episodes. So now we finished the left side of the tram hub. This episode is approaching the end and we will fly out as usually, so you can see the whole progress of the city. Progress, lol. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you really liked it, and yeah, maybe we see us the next time. Bye bye.